friends. We are now discussing about the chapter number 5 optical network. This is the telecommunication network architecture for this optical communication. In this the three parts are there. One is long haul inter-exchange network, second one is metropolitan, that is inter-office network, and third one is the metropolitan access network. What is these three networks we will discuss. Telecommunication networks containing the metro network, which lie in the city or a region, which is having the two types of network as we see in the previous diagram. The access network extend from a center office to a businesses and from homes, or the inter-office network, which connects the particular inter-exchange network to the access network, and the long haul network, that is interconnect that is used for the interconnecting the cities or the regions. So in this particular, what we are desiring, that is high capacity, efficiently support data traffic, which uses the packet switching, delivery new and flexible type of services which are containing the bandwidth on demand, restorable connections with different restoration guarantees, and so on. Then for this particular purpose we are going to use the optical networks, which are having lot of things which are capable this optical network as a transmission media, useful transmission media, we can say the optical fibers as a transmission media, because high bandwidth, which is having the tens of Tbps. Previously in the Ethernet or in the coaxial cable or any of the media, we are having the networks up to Mbps or Gbps, but in this we are having tens of Tbps, terabit per second. The low loss and low bit error rate, here the losses are low and the error rate is again the low bit. It is having two ways of increase the transmission capacity on a fiber, which is increase the bit rate with the time division multiplexing. Many lower speed data streams are multiplexed into a higher speed streams. So TDM is used. We already discussed about the time division multiplexing. We are having this particular study in the previous DCOM also, how the time is divided and it is given for the user for the whole time, the full bandwidth is given for the transmission as well as for the reception. The wavelength division multiplexing can be used, which transmits data simultaneously at multiple wavelengths. So for transmission of the multiple users or the uses of the multiple users can be possible by using this wavelength division multiplexing, which is also possible in the optical networks. Time division multiplexing and wavelength division multiplexing combined we can use for this optical networks, which gives us the tens of Tbps. Why we are going for this optical fiber networks? Here are some of the advantages. Large bandwidth permits high data transmission. Here the bandwidth is high, so it provides the transmission with the high data rate. Technological improvements are occurring rapidly. The optical fiber networks are the hot issues nowadays, so the technological improvements are occurring rapidly, often permitting increased capacity over existing optical fiber. Glass fiber has low attenuation, which permits extended cable transmission distance. The attenuation is low as the glass absorption, whatever there is less, and so that it is having the low attenuation, and so the attenuation is the factor which permits us the extended cable transmission distance. So it is having the higher capacity to transmit over the long haul communication. Light as a transmission media provides the ability for the use of optical fiber in dangerous environments. This particular transmission media is using the light as a medium, so it is good to go for this particular in the dangerous environments like the snow areas or the fire areas, or some of the what we can sand areas, like some of the water areas, wherever the things are not possible by using the copper or any kind of metal to transmit the data. We can use the optical fiber communication. Optical fiber is difficult to tap. Here the security is always the issue. So here it is, optical fiber is difficult to tap. No one can tap easily this particular optical fiber communication cable because it is having some mechanism, and even tapped it is not easy to get the data from this particular optical fiber communication, thus providing a higher degree of security than possible with the copper wire. It is again having the one more advantage and very useful advantage, that is lightweight and small diameter of fiber permits high capacity through existing conducts. So it is having the low weight and small diameter, so it is very easy to use, and which is very handy, we can say, to use. There are some disadvantages of the optical transmission also, because anywhere it is having some disadvantages like cable splicing. Whenever the optical fiber communication is breaked, or sometimes it is having some problem, we can connect that particular cable, but by using the method that is cable splicing, where welding or fusing, you must clean each fiber end, then align and carefully fuse the ends using a electric arc. So in this particular cable splicing, we have to use the two types of things, like one is cable splicing or by using some mechanical connectors, but in the cable splicing we are having the welding or fusing, where we can connect the two ends of the breaked cable, which should be very carefully aligned and fuse the ends using the electric arc. It is time consuming. The disadvantage is that it is time consuming and least amount of signal loss between joint elements. So it is having some drawback, like makes some losses. It may give some signal loss between this joint element. Second method, that is gluing. In this particular method, the bonding material that matches the refractive index of the core of the fiber. We have to use the bonding material that matches the refractive index of the core of the fiber material, or otherwise it may give the losses in this particular. So we have to check, or we have to get this particular gluing material. That is very not so easy. It is time consuming again, and having the higher losses of signal power than the fusing. Mechanical connectors can be used for this particular type of connection, but these are some of the disadvantages part where the mechanical connectors we are using considerably facilitate the joining of fibers, more signal loss than the other two methods. So it is having we are not using the bonding material or fusing, so here the losses are more. This particular mechanical connectors can reduce the span of the fiber to a smaller distance. So whenever the losses are more, we cannot use this particular optical fiber for the long distance communication, so it reduces the span of the fiber to a smaller distance. This is the big picture of this particular optical fiber communication. Transmitter design. Here the data is provided with this particular modulation format, where the wavelength stabilization is done. The data is provided as well as the laser of the beam of the laser is provided, and these two signals are modulated altogether and provided with the multiplexer performance. The signal is multiplexed and these are provided through SMF and DCF. So depression compression can be done, and again here the WADM means wavelength adaptive digital data modulation design can drop or add the bandwidth limitation. So filter performance including dispersion and bandwidth limitation can be possible here. Then it is given to the optical cross connect design, and here the switching is done. So here the crosstalk and switching responses as well as the noise and speed are the parameters of this particular. So space switch is here over which the switching can be done. Then the signal, whatever the signal we are getting from the switched cross connect, that is amplified multiband with the multiband DFA, which is also called as Raman amplifier, and again given to the performance and protection switching crosstalk. Here also again we are using the WADM, so SONET or SDH ring design we are using. Then it is used for the long haul design, amplitude and timing, jitter, noise accumulation, noise linear effect, distributed amplification, PMD. All these things are here in this particular long haul communication design, and then it is demultiplexed again at the receiver, and whatever the data is regenerated at the receiver by using the PMD compensation. So this is the big picture of the optical fiber network. The optical networks are having the two generations. First generation is switching and processing done. In this particular first generation we are having the switching and processing done by electronics devices. The fiber distributed data interface is used. Synchronous optical network, that is SONET, and synchronous digital hierarchy, that is SDH, is used in the first generation. In the second generation, routing and switching done in optical domain. In the first one we are using the electronic devices, but now in the second generation the routing as well as switching are done by the optical domain, and wavelength routing network and wavelength routing networks are used. Here this is the optical network architecture. Just see, this is a long haul network. Yes, this is long haul communication network. This is a long haul communication network. This particular is having again the metro network and the metro network, so two parts we can say, and again it is connected to the personal open network, optical network, access network, and the customer premises in equipment is connected to this access network. Here the optical links are used in this optical network, which are having some wavelength. The wavelength is nothing but the wavelength of a wave and is measured in nanometers, that is 10⁻⁹ meters. 400 nanometers is the violet. So at this end you can say it is violet. To at the left end is 700 nanometer, which is red, is visible light. So this particular ultraviolet to infrared, so we can say the frequency which is measured in terahertz, it is 10⁻12 hertz. So whatever the frequency, and here we can say the speed of light is equal to 3 into 10⁸8 meters per second. So visible light region is this one in the electromagnetic spectrum. This is optical spectrum again. The light, UV light, the first one is the UV light, ultraviolet light, then the visible light. So we are going to use this visible light in this particular network. We are going to use the visible light. Then infrared lights also can be used. We are using these infrared lights in the remotes and all the equipments which are useful in the home. So this is the infrared light are used in the small distance communication. Visible lights or the optical lights can be used for the long haul communication. Also the ultraviolet can be used for the long haul communication. So here in the communication wavelengths, 850, 1310, 1550 nanometers, and low loss wavelengths. These are the low loss wavelengths. So bandwidths are given here, the 1550 nanometer and 1551 nanometer, which are having this bandwidths. 193 or 548.4 gigahertz, or 193 424.6 gigahertz, and 1 nanometer, that is 125 gigahertz. The light sources used for this one as a source can be a LED, light emitting diode, or laser diode, or a single mode laser diode. The first one is providing the LED, and second diagram is showing you the laser diode. Detectors and receivers are divided into these parts: solid state detectors, pin diode, the circuit noise and signal to noise ratio in a receiver, direct detection and bit error rate, avalanche photodiodes. These are some of the figures of this one. We will discuss about the fiber cable internal part in the next lecture. Thank you.